Hi, everybody, it's Amy. I am going to record our team session today because I can't be there live today. Plus, I'm going to see how this works for a lot of people who miss class to see if everybody gets the same information from me, and then it's a lot clearer. We're going to give it a try and see how it goes, okay? So, I am on my OneNote page for the calendar for our class. This is Ceramics Period 2. So, I have the schedule of the week here. First of all, I'm going to need to take attendance kind of remotely today because I'm not in the live session. So what I've done is I've made a quick Microsoft Forms survey with 6 questions, and the link is right here. You click on that link and it takes you to the forms, and this is basically asking you 6 questions. Did you watch this? What are you working on this week? I've combined the middle school and high school classes together in the forms to make it easier for me. Then everybody's all together in one. So I'm going to give that a try. So thank you for being a part of that. Please do it. It is required. It's going to help me put the grade in the grade book for your participation this week. If you fill out the form and you do that work and you do the other classwork, then you get the score of yes, hey, I participated. If you don't, then I have to assign you to like a tutorial and we have to meet or we have to do a booking together, whatever. If you can't do it right away, please finish that by Tuesday, that forms. That would be really helpful. The next thing on our agenda is last week's video assignment. I had only 3 students who did the work. I couldn't believe it. Then I thought, well, it was Monday, maybe you forgot about it. So you do have to do all the assignments from here on out for the rest of the semester. But you have lots of flexibility in my class. You can get it done when it works for you. I think that's a good thing. So please go back and watch that 30-minute video. If you want to watch it with someone else in the class or family, please do. It's a great video. And then fill out the Microsoft Forms. It has questions about the video. And you can do that on your own. You can do it with a partner, or you can do it in a group of 3. Please don't combine more than 3 people, okay? And then you just turn that in, and then I can get the responses, and I take a look. There's the 3 people who did it. Thank you so much. They were great responses. The next thing on the agenda is a new survey. Sorry about all the Microsoft surveys, but that's kind of how this works. This is a quick survey that's going to help me understand what you are interested in for our next 2 class projects. It really gives me a good feeling for what you're doing now and what you're interested in and what you want to make. So please fill out the Microsoft Forms. It's not very long. It's very quick. So when you're done with those 3 things, you need to consider, hey, did I finish my found object sculpture? So I want to make sure everybody goes in and finishes your found object sculpture, completes all the OneNote stuff, gets that done. You've got the rest of this week to finish everything up. Nothing's really late, okay? So don't stress about it. If you need more time than that, just send me a quick email. Of course, I'm going to say yes, and then I'm going to be going through and looking at more people's work. I've looked through some people's work, but there's a lot of people who haven't done anything. So you have to do the work from now on. There's new grading policies about pass and no pass, and I want everybody to pass, okay? So keep up with the work because I'm giving you grades in the grade book, the formative grades for now, about what you're working on. When I'm grading things formatively, I'm grading them as if they were a summative. It just doesn't count towards your grade. So you will see what score you would normally get if it were a summative. So I'm just putting those in as formatives right now. There might be some things that change about grading as we move on and find out more from the school district. And of course, when those happen, I'll, adjust things, okay? I don't want you to be stressed out, but I want you to learn. I want you to make things that are interesting. So that found object sculpture, you need to finish that up this week. And I'll be giving you feedback. If you haven't gotten feedback from me, I'll get that to you. And then you can keep working on revising. The flexibility is definitely there for you and for me, okay? About like turn in and getting your work done and me grading and revising and all that. The next thing, number 5, complete your artist statement and turn it into your turn-in page. So if you haven't started that, you need to start working on your artist statement. It is your reflection for your whole found object sculpture. It's okay if you haven't started that yet. It's totally fine. Please click on the link and let's just look at it together. Turn in your artist statement here and grade yourself below. It's very simple. And if you're thinking, wait a minute, artist statement, what's that? This information here tells you what an artist statement is. This video is about writing an artist statement, and this is a video artist statement. Someone recorded their artist statement. It's very interesting. So go through this flow chart and follow the instructions about making an artist statement. It just basically describes your art. You explain how you created it, what's the big idea of your work, what were your goals, and what were your overall thoughts about your art. Okay, it's very simple, maybe a paragraph or two. Make it easy, make it worthwhile for you to explain your work to other people. Okay. And number 6, take a deep breath. You did it. The found object sculpture has seemed to taken a very long time for people to finish. Maybe it's the remote learning, maybe it's the motivation, I'm not sure. But we need to wrap it up this week because we still have 2 more really great projects to do for the semester. Which brings me to number 7 on the agenda, and that is our new project, which I'm really excited about. I just finished working it all up today. If you see any mistakes or anything that doesn't look right, please send me an email. I haven't pushed this one out to you yet. I'm going to do that in a little bit, but it's called Personal Expression Project. I've added a tab in your OneNote right next to the sculpture. I want you to read through all this, okay? I'm not going to read it all to you. You need to take the initiative to read this and comprehend what it's all about. You don't have to do it all in one sitting. You can, do it over a day or two. There's driving questions that are very important to our learning. There are the basics about what this project is all about. My high school students have already given them a survey. I'm just giving you the survey today, but I've already given them the survey, and their results are here, and they're amazing. A lot of students want to do drawing and painting. A lot of students want to do music. A lot of students want to still make sculpture. You can see this graph has some really cool things that students are motivated to do. So your survey will give me information about middle school and what you want to work on. But this is a really good idea to see what high school students are thinking about. So basically, you're expressing yourself with creative methods for a purpose. You're using whatever objects, materials, or things you have available to create a personal project. It does have to have an artistic element, okay? It's very important that you have a visual element to this. You're expressing yourself in any art form that helps you cope with what's going on, maybe telling a story, explaining, or just expressing yourself as a human. And then you're also going to incorporate art history into your personal ideas, and that's required for this project. But I made it really fun, okay? This basics part talks about the size, the method, materials, and then so read all this. Your work has to have a visual design aspect. And I'm going to talk about this now because when you're planning, you're just going to be planning this week. That's all you're going to be doing, planning your ideas. So I can look at your ideas. You don't have to start it yet. But you have to know that if you're going to write music, you have to create an album cover. You have to create a visual that goes with it. Yes, we'll be able to hear your music. And sometimes we can see your music if that's your visual, if it's a recorded, sound bites and things. If you're going to do a drawing, then you're presenting that as your final work, or a sculpture, or an installation, which is something that is like a sculpture. If you're going to write poetry, you should do some graphic design or photographs or something that goes with it, or drawings. If you're doing photography, then maybe you bring it all together with a final graphic design. So I also have students who might do dance. So if you're doing that, you probably need to capture that on video. Okay, or photographs of you doing the work, but that probably needs to be a video. So really think about what you're doing. If you need permission for any objects or materials, please make sure you ask your family and make sure that's okay. Your work can be functional or non-functional. It can hang on the wall. It can be something that you use, or it can be something that's just there and it's to look at. If you need some ideas, like I said, here's some ideas right here from my high school survey. So week 1, now that I've gone over the overview of the project, this week, you will plan your personal expression project. You're going to go to this Museums Online for ideas. I'm going to click that link. It takes you to, it says this section has links, it should say to visual art museums you can explore from home. So there are lots of cool things in here. Arts and culture links, lots of really neat things in here. Google Experiments, my favorite. Museums, internationally, US museums, and sites that list more museums. Use that link here with the Museums Online. And of course, there's Seattle Art Museum and other things in here too. That's in the Online Learning Resources tab that I've created for you. So after you look around there for some ideas, you are required to do the next one. And that is you need to visit this site. And I'm not going to click on it because when you click on it, it'll be really cool. And the surprise for you is amazing. It's a Google experiment. It's my favorite site on the internet. I absolutely love this. I think you're going to like it too. It has sound effects and podcasts about art and works that create or are linked over time. It's really amazing, and I think you'll enjoy it. So you'll need to locate at least 2 artworks that inspire, influence, or help your project. Okay? It doesn't have to be the same thing. It shouldn't be the same. It could be something that you're like, oh my gosh, that's such a good idea. A mask. I think I'll do a mask. And then you find some things that represent that. Or maybe you want to do a landscape painting and you find a photograph and a painting on that site. And as you look through that Museum of the World, you'll find incredible things over time that might really help you. So please make sure you take screenshots of at least the 2 artworks that are going to be involved with your planning, your inspiration, or your influence. And if you don't know how to do a screenshot, then I've included some information here on how to do that. There's the Snip and Sketch tool, which you can find if you go down to your Start menu. It's there. You can also just hit the print screen on your computer. There's other ways to do it too, but those are 2 ways that I can tell you right now are easy. You must show your planning in OneNote. However, you can draw and make a video, fold paper, whatever you're going to do, and just take a photo and pop it in your planning. So you don't have to draw directly in OneNote. It's up to you how you want to create it, but you do have to show it. If you do it on a website, just put the link in. If you create something, take a photo. The next one is please share your planning with family, friends, or people in the class. It's your choice how you want to do that. Email it to someone. Email a teacher. Doesn't matter. It's up to you. Ask a family member, hey, what do you think of this? Do you think it's going to be manageable? Can I do this? Get some feedback, and it'll help your planning. Then turn your planning into this page here, which is your personal expression project planning turn-in page. And the directions are right here, and I even put the link to the Museum of the World to remind you not to forget you have to do that. And then here's the rubric for planning. Very simple. Grade yourself. And then that is all we're doing this week for this project. If you want to work ahead, you may do that. I have put the dates for each week here. Week 2, we're going to be creating and making. Week 3, we're going to be revising and completing. And week 4, we're doing a reflection. So basically, you are planned out for this class through May 22nd. So now you know what to expect, what you need to do, and on your time, you can go in and read these, go to the links, turn your work in. If you're in a rush and you really like, oh, Amy, I really need feedback so I can start making this, just send me an email. I will look at your work as soon as I can. I'll give you that feedback. And by the way, that feedback will be in this page here, in your project turn-in page. This is where I'm going to put feedback. I'll just type it in. I'll give you little fun, pictures and stuff. So do that. When it comes to the artist statement time, whoops, wrong one, sorry. The artist statement feedback will be in this one. High school only, just so you know, high school students they have a website. They're going to be publishing things to their website. But to make this easier for me, I've gone ahead and included a few high school only information things in here so I can just copy and paste both assignments. You're doing the similar and very same assignment as high school and middle school together because they're both ceramics. And it'll be really fun to see what middle school makes and then what high school makes. Maybe we'll switch classes and high schoolers can give middle schoolers suggestions and middle schoolers can look at high schoolers' work. So I think it's a really great opportunity to have some fun with this project. The most important thing about this project is for you to make something meaningful to you and something that you want to do. This is what Big Picture is really all about. It's all about you and following your ideas and your interests. So please keep that in mind. If you want to come to a tutorial, it's Wednesday, 11:30 to 12. And I'll be running that in Teams. And then that's already on your calendar. I sent those as appointments out to you already. And if you need to book a time with me, click that link at the bottom on my calendar and you can book a time with me. If it doesn't work for me, though, I'll reschedule it with you for another time. So I hope this makes sense to you. I also might be putting this on my YouTube channel so that if families need to see this video and understand what students are expected to do, they have a quick link to see what's going on in our class and what you're working on. So please make sure you visit this calendar site. Those 3 Microsoft forms in the beginning of the agenda are very important. Finish up your found object sculpture, and start working on your planning for your personal expression. And I can't wait to see what you're doing this week. Okay, see you later. Have a great week, and I'll talk to you soon.